Now we can see the challenges in video streaming. So in this session, we will discuss about some of the basic approaches and key challenges in video streaming. There are three very fundamental problems in video streaming, which I'll be highlighting in examining in depth in other sessions, in other coming sessions. This session we will see only the intro part, like what are the different challenges in video streaming. The first one, what I want to say is the video delivery via file download. So probably the most straightforward approach for video delivery of the internet is by something similar to a file download, but we prefer it to it as a video download, just to keep in mind that it's a video and not a generic file. Specifically, video download is similar to a file download, but it's a larger file. This approach allows the use of established delivery mechanisms. For example, TCP as a transport layer, or FTP or HTTP as at a higher layers. However, it has its own number of disadvantages. Some videos generally correspond to a very larger files. The download approach usually requires longer download times and large storage spaces. These are important practical constraints. In addition, the entire video must be downloaded before viewing, right? Before viewing can begin. This requires patience on the viewer's part and also reduces flexibility in certain circumstances. Suppose if the viewer is unsure of whether he or she wants to view the video, but he or she must still download the entire video before viewing it and make a decision. Another method is video delivery via streaming. See, video delivery by video streaming. This attempts to overcome the problems associated with the file download, and this provides a significant amount of additional capabilities. The basic idea of video streaming is to split the video into parts and transmit these parts in succession one by one, and enable the receiver to decode and play back the video as these parts are received without having to wait for the entire video to be delivered. Video streaming can conceptually be thought to consist of the steps. What are the steps? 3 steps. First one is partition the compressed video into packets. The second step is start delivery of these packets. The third step is begin decoding and playback at the receiver while the video is still being delivered, one packet by other packet. So the video streaming enables simultaneous delivery and playback of the video. This is in contrast to file download, where the entire video must be delivered before playback can begin, right? In video streaming, there usually is a short delay, usually on the order of 5 to 15 seconds only, between the start of the delivery and the beginning of the playback at the client side. This delay, referred to as the pre-roll delay, provides the number of benefits, right? That will be discussed in later section. We will see that. Video streaming provides a number of benefits, including low delay before viewing starts and low storage requirement, since only a small portion of the video is stored at the client side, right, at any point of time. The length of the delay is given by the time duration of the pre-roll buffer, and the required storage is approximately given by the amount of data in the pre-roll buffer. Expressing video streaming as a sequence of constraints. A significant amount of insight can be obtained by expressing the problem of video streaming as a sequence of constraints. Consider the time interval between displayed frames to be denoted by delta. Okay. For example, delta is 33 millisecond for 30 frames per second video and 100 millisecond for 10 frames per second video. Each frame must be delivered and decoded by its playback time. Therefore, the sequence of frames has an associated sequence of deliver, decode, display deadlines. Frame n, for example, frame n must be delivered and decoded by time tn. Frame n plus 1 must be delivered and decoded by time tn plus delta. Frame n plus 2 must be delivered and decoded by time tn plus 2 delta. N plus 3 will be delivered and decoded by time tn plus 3 delta. So like that it will go. See, any data that is lost in transmission cannot be used at the receiver side. So furthermore, any data that arrives late is also useless. So specifically, any data that arrives after a decoding or display deadline is too late to be displayed. See, please note that certain data may still be useful even if it arrives after a display time. For example, if the subsequent data depends on this late data, so in that condition it will be accepted, but it will not be displayed. So therefore, an important goal of video streaming is to perform the streaming in a manner so that this sequence of constraint is met. Let's see the basic problems in video streaming. There are a number of basic problems that afflict video streaming. So we focus on the case of video streaming over the internet since it is a very important one. A concrete example that, this is a very concrete example that helps to illustrate these problems. Video streaming over the internet is difficult because the internet only offers best effort service. That is, it provides no guarantees on the bandwidth. It provides no guarantees on delay jitter, and it provides no guarantee on loss rates. Specifically, these characteristics are unknown and it is very dynamic. They are very dynamic. So therefore, a key goal of video streaming is to design a system to reliably deliver high quality video over the internet when dealing with these unknown and dynamic bandwidth, delay jitter, loss rate. The bandwidth available between 2 points in the internet is generally unknown and time varying. If the sender transmits faster than the available bandwidth, then congestion occurs, packets are lost, and there is a severe drop in the video quality. If the sender transmits slower than the available bandwidth, then the receiver produces suboptimal video quality. The goal to overcome the bandwidth problem is to estimate the available bandwidth and then match the transmitted video bitrate to the available bandwidth. So additional considerations that make the bandwidth problem very challenging include accurately estimating the available bandwidth, matching the pre-encoded video to the estimated channel bandwidth, transmitting at a rate that is fair to other concurrent flows in the internet, and solving this problem in a multicast situation where a single sender streams data to multiple receivers where each may have a different available bandwidth. So the end-to-end delay that a packet experiences may fluctuate from packet to packet, right? This variation in end-to-end delay is referred to as the delay jitter, Jitter. Delay jitter is a problem because the receiver must receive, decode, display frames at a constant rate. And any late frames resulting from the delay jitter can produce problems in the reconstructed video. It will give a jerkiness in the video. This problem is typically addressed by including a playout buffer at the receiver. So while the playout buffer can compensate for the delay jitter, it also introduces what? Additional delay. That's the second one. Third important fundamental problem is losses. A number of different types of losses may occur depending on the particular network under consideration. For example, a wired packet network such as the internet are afflicted by packet loss, where the entire packet is erased or lost. On the other hand, wireless channels are typically afflicted by bit errors or burst errors. Losses can have a very destructive effect on the reconstructed video quality. To combat the effect of losses, a video streaming system is designed with the error control. Approaches for error control can be roughly grouped into 4 different classes. First one is forward error correction, FEC. Second one is retransmissions of the packets. A third one is error concealment of the loss. The fourth one is error resilient video coding. So we are going to discuss about 3 fundamental problems here on, like unknown dynamic bandwidth. That is first one. Second one is delay jitter, and third one is loss. And that we are going to deal all these 3 points in different sections. Each section will focus on one of these problems, and it discusses various approaches for overcoming the problem.